Hey y'all, you're welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Let's talk about Porsha, honey. Porsha has been in the streets, the YouTube streets. Of course, she has been giving us the tea on Real Housewives of Atlanta. She talked about Drew, Dennis, and Ralph, honey, and I want to get into it. I will say Porsha is very entertaining. I enjoy watching Porsha. I remember when I watched the video, I was just like, okay, girl, she is entertaining to watch. She is funny. I love how she be eating. That girl loves her food, honey. She is not going to play about her food. But it was just really entertaining watching her YouTube channel. If you guys have not seen her YouTube channel, she is on, I think, like 15,000 subscribers, honey. Like, she came in 24 hours and was out here hitting the big numbers on YouTube. So shout out to her. Her YouTube channel is Porsha for Real if you guys want to go and check it out over there. But I want to talk to you guys about some of what she said specifically about Drew, Dennis, and Ralph, honey. It's giving storyline. To be honest, we did talk about it in one of my previous videos, and I said, I don't know what's going on over there, but it's giving orchestrated, honey. And it's interesting that Porsha is confirming what we suspected. Now, please, before you move on, hit that like button, honey. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that share button. Those are free ways to support the channel. It's free. Don't be a hater. Just smash that like button or dislike button if you don't like me, okay? Whichever one works. Now, let's get into today's video. Not Porsha starting off with a shout out to Drew and the album and how it was a good job and how her baby daddy did the dang thing. Apparently the album is good. Now, I haven't listened to the album, but I hear it's something special. So if you guys have listened to the album, let me know in the comment section below. I may listen to it, but I try to stay away from like circular music as much as I can. So unless I'm sure like it's worth my time and stuff, then I'm like, I don't need to listen. I want anything that will keep me up at night and I'll be like, oh, I need a man. No, I don't need all of that. But anyway, I'm being silly. Let's get back into this. So apparently they did a good job, but she's like, it's giving storyline. So apparently at first she was thinking like, nah, this is like, some real-ish. But what she didn't like about Drew was Drew knows that it is her show. It's also Drew's show. If you're going to bring anybody on the platform, at least give her some heads up, right? It's one thing to say you're working with my baby daddy, you have music together, but to then bring him on the show, knowing fully well that production is probably going to set up scenes where Porsha is going to have to be interacting with baby daddy when that wasn't her intention, is a little tricky. And I completely understand how Porsha feels. I know a lot of people don't see it for Porsha and people like to say like, yeah, but get out your feelings for a second and think about it. If somebody is bringing your baby daddy, who you guys are cool, but sometimes you're not cool, to a show that you work on, and then you're going to have to interact because now this is going to be brought to your workplace. How do you think that's okay? That's not okay. That is going to be shady for some people. Even the girlies on the show were talking about how they wouldn't have liked it. So think about it. I know you guys don't like peach juice, and I understand it. I get it. She's done some shady ass things. But imagine it wasn't peach juice. Imagine it was like somebody like Kenya that you guys seem to love, or Nene, for instance, and that happened. You guys would be like, oh, that's so shady. Why would she do that? So let's keep that same energy here. That's all I'm saying. She did also say there's no reason Drew couldn't have even texted her just to give her some heads up. They're going to be filming together. Like, even if they're like getting it in, she does not care. That is Dennis's personal life. She does not like to get involved. But if you're going to bring this man onto our platform, then let's be careful and give me some heads up. I completely agree with what she said. It's all about principles at the end of the day. She also talked about like she does not have the right to be out here talking about Dennis and Drew being together, considering her and Simon are together. They got married, got a divorce, they're waiting on the judge. So it's just like, bro, it's so far, their lives are so far different that it's like, yeah, nah, it's not that deep to her, which I completely get. But when we're watching the show, I don't know if it's editing, they be editing the heck out of the season, because a lot of the things that I'm starting to hear and find out in these YouTube streets are so different from the way it is being portrayed on the show. I wonder how Bravo is feeling about all these like YouTube channels that is springing up from all these Real Housewives of Atlanta people. I think a part of it is it will probably help them promote the show a little bit more to have YouTube channels. But I guess it is also a little bit tricky because once you start stepping on production's toes, then there's going to be issues. Also, Porsha, I hope you know that majority of the cast members will be coming for you once you start doing these YouTube videos, because you say something one day, somebody's going to be offended. And now we're going to have to be dealing with that. Now, that said, I've been thinking about it. I'm glad Porsha is trying to get her money on YouTube, because think about it, you're going to need to pay for that house if you keep that house. So get your money. Now, Porsha talks about she feels like it was fake because she met Ralph at an event. They exchanged pleasantries, and when she asked like if he and Dennis are like cool now, he was confused and he was asking what she meant. It was given like, maybe they'd all agreed to have beef, and then Porsha ran into Ralph and Ralph forgot the assignment, honey. He could not keep track. I guess that's the thing with lies, man. Once you lie, it's so hard to keep track of your lies. So I don't know what's going on there. But she was like, okay, it was a little bit weird. Ralph seemed to not know what is going on. And then when she spoke to Dennis said that Drew is upset because she got some flowers sent to the house from Porsha. I'm like, what? This is so weird. Like, what is going on? So it was like Dennis was then giving her a heads up, basically saying, I'm just telling you just in case she wants to use it as a storyline. So I'm just thinking it's given like they're all concocting a whole plan to try to get people's attention on the album, because guess what? People want to listen to what Drew messed up her friendship with Porsha for, right? People want to make sure that album bangs, and apparently it does. So I guess it all works out perfectly. And then apparently there was a point where it was given Dennis and Ralph would be going to the event together or something like that. And then Porsha is like, well, aren't you guys beefing? And it's just like, what is going on? So she's like, it's given, it was all a whole setup to try to sell the music, and everything is fake. To be completely honest, I'm not shocked. I feel like it's not very far-fetched. A lot of Real Housewives of people, well, I don't want to say Atlanta, but a lot of Real Housewives or Housewives, like you want to call it, they tend to create storylines, especially when they don't have storylines. We know that Drew doesn't really want to talk too much about her divorce. Remember, there was a point where it broke the internet that apparently her and Ty had a relationship, allegedly, while she was still married to Ralph. The whole thing was a whole thing, right? And I don't think Drew really wanted to talk about it. So, of course, it makes sense to come up with a new storyline and that we can then be watching, right? So I'm not surprised. I feel like it definitely is given concocted. It was a scheme that Todd came up with to come to us with the BS. That is what it is given, to be completely honest with you guys. That being said, I'm not entertained by the storyline. I feel like they need to do better with the storyline. I am bored out of my mind with the storyline. I feel like more needs to be done for it to be entertaining. It really isn't given what it needs to give, in my personal opinion. So yeah, I just think it's not doing what it needs to do. If it's a storyline, it's a bad one. And that's just where I stand on that. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys believe it's a storyline? Do you think that it's actually genuine and Porsha is lying to clean this up? I personally do not believe that. I feel like it's given very much a storyline, because it's like 1 minute you're saying that you're not cool with Ralph, then the next minute is like you guys are cool. It's like, okay, what's going on? Yeah, it's all being very shady. Anyways, whatever the case may be, these people are trying to get their money, so I cannot knock anybody. Now, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the chat. Thank you. Bye.